Hello everyone, Josh Oakes here with Media Leaders, and I'm very excited and honored on this video to interview someone that is going to teach us 7 steps to monetizing LinkedIn. I'm really excited about this one because they're going to be long-term things. If you stick with us on this whole video, you're going to learn a lot that'll change the way you view relationships over the next several years of your life. I want to welcome to the call Rick Itzkowich, which is AKA Rick I, the LinkedIn guy. Rick, good to have you here.
It's good to be here, Josh.
Thanks so much for being on this. You know, we've known each other now for I think the last couple years, and I've been following you and really impressed with the stuff you've been doing, and I'm just honored that you're a part of this. So thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you're based in the San Diego area, is that correct?
That is correct.
Perfect. Let's jump in real quick to what you're going to teach us. We'll jump right into the juicy good stuff. Walk us through just really quickly each bullet point. What are the 7 steps to monetizing LinkedIn? And we'll dive into each one a little bit more later, but walk us through what these are.
Well, the most important thing on your LinkedIn account is your profile. I mean, without a profile, nothing happens on LinkedIn. It's the equivalent of your business card when you first meet somebody. Mm-hmm. It provides the first impression for people, and it sets the tone for the relationship. Mm-hmm. So you need to have an effective profile, and we'll talk about what that is. Then it's about the network. LinkedIn is a networking platform. It is not a marketing platform. It is not a sales platform. It's a networking platform, and as such, you need to have a powerful network. Network means people. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about that. Strategic activities. People ask me, Rick, I need to know what to do on LinkedIn. Well, what to do on LinkedIn comes after you actually understand that you need to have a profile and you need to have people to do it with. So we'll get to the activities, but you don't want to put the cart before the horse. Building trust and credibility is one of the foundational elements that you need to have on LinkedIn, so that you can capitalize from the platform. And that is also true for networking in general, not just for LinkedIn. But we'll cover the importance in how to go ahead and do that. Generating goodwill is the second currency that you have to accumulate on LinkedIn, besides trust and credibility, is goodwill. And goodwill is, in financial terms, if you have a balance sheet, it's something that can definitely be monetized when you're selling a business. And it's the same thing on LinkedIn. If you enjoy goodwill, if you have cultivated and acquired it, it will make your LinkedIn account far more valuable. The VCP process is a very insightful and really powerful process to grasp that it comes to networking. It was developed by an organization called the Referral Institute, and we'll dive into detail as to how that applies to not only networking on LinkedIn, but any kind of networking that you do. And lastly, it's about an attraction strategy, and that's, let's just say, you want to be thinking like a spider. We'll leave that as that for now. It's just kind of like to pique your curiosity.
I'm excited for that one. That's great. Well, this looks like a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and dive on into tip number 1. Talk to us about the profile, the picture, the headline, and the summary.
Yes, you will see a good number of profiles on LinkedIn without a picture. And that is just, in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes you could be making when you are on LinkedIn. People have all kinds of reasons why they don't put a picture, whether it's security, privacy, etc. And the way that I explain it to people is this. Imagine going to a networking event such as a Chamber of Commerce meeting or a meetup meeting, and you walk in there, and you walk in with a paper bag over your face. Mm-hmm. I mean, what impression are you going to send? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you're doing when you have a profile on LinkedIn without a picture. It's like you're hiding something, and it's not good. Also, people put other things on their, profile picture, their logos, their avatars, their pictures of their cats. That might be okay in other platforms, not on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform, and it's your first impression. Mm-hmm. So what you want is you want a headshot, especially nowadays with a new LinkedIn profile that the picture area is huge. You want a picture that really conveys you as a friendly individual that people want to connect with, which is the first step in starting any relationship, is that connection. So that's what you want to do. I recommend that eventually you have a professional picture taken and that you put that on all your social media, but in particular on LinkedIn. But even if you don't have that yet, a headshot of you smiling would be a great start on your profile.
Awesome.
The headline.
Yeah.
The headline is the next thing that people will see in just about every activity that you have on LinkedIn, whether it's a status update that we'll talk about later or a group participation. Your headline is a very important piece of real estate in your profile. And the default headline that LinkedIn gives you is your last job position. So CEO of XYZ company, salesperson, whatever, which is nothing but boring, and it's not helpful to you. So it's a wasted piece of real estate. And so it's so important. What I recommend that people do with it is make it interesting and or hopefully but at the very least, include a benefit to your ideal target audience. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's say that you are in real estate and you sell real estate. Well, people say real estate at XYZ company or realtor, whatever. That is very boring, and it doesn't separate you from the thousands of other real estate people that are on LinkedIn. But here's one where a client of mine used this as a headline, and I thought it was brilliant, and she said, "Everything I touch turns to sold."
That's great.
You know, which is a nice play on words on the everything I touch turns to gold. So it really positions her. It's memorable. People remember it. My headline on LinkedIn, it states something that I will help you make your phone ring, your email ping, so you can go cha-ching.
Love that.
And it has a nice rhyme to it, and I get comments from people every week that they connect with me, they love my headline, it stands out, it's memorable. It's kind of like Rick I, the LinkedIn guy. I mean, people just say, "Hey, Rick I." They like doing that. So it's memorable, it's interesting. You want to be capturing that if you can.
I love that. That's great. Those are great tips.
Okay, the summary is where it's the bulk of what you have on LinkedIn. Another area that I see people totally underutilizing it by leaving it blank or just leaving, one or two sentences. Imagine you have just been given a full-page ad in the top paper in your city. Okay, you're in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Times. You just got a full-page ad, and all you do is you write one sentence for your full-page ad. You just wasted all that real estate.
Very true.
Well, it's the same thing on your LinkedIn profile. You get 2,000 characters, which is about 350 words, and you have an opportunity to tell your story.
Yeah.
Use it. Take advantage of this. Make sure that it is in the first person, that it is not your CV, but your sales page. On LinkedIn, you have to treat your profile as a sales page rather than as your, your curriculum vitae. And there's another word that just escaped me your resume. It's not your resume, it's your sales page.
Got it.
So as such, stories sell. You want to make sure that you engage your reader, whoever your target audience is, and what you do is you do it in a way that talks about your credentials, about 20% of the summary, so about 400 characters. 80% should be forward-looking about what you're going to do for your ideal target audience. How are you going to help them? Why should they do business with you?
That's really interesting. So at 80% forward-looking, how are you going to help them? I like that.
20% back, meaning what qualifies you to do what you do, your credentials.
Qualifications. Hope everybody that's watching this got that. 20% qualifications and 80% how are you going to help them. Another key trick you just taught me on the headline, I love this, is that your headline defaults to your most recent job position and company type of thing, and you should then tweak it, your default headline, to not be about what the company wants your thing to be, like real estate at XYZ company, but turn it into something that says, here's what my target market, here's what will resonate with them. So I think that's really great. Take the default and turn it into a benefit. So true.
The other thing on the headline is it's very keyword rich for search engine searchable on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So include your keywords if you can.
Yeah, that's so true. And being honest and authentic in the keywords, writing a lot in your summary and just saying, here's what I do, those keywords get picked up too. So that's great. Let's move on to tip number 2. Talk to us about the network.
Yes, as I mentioned, once you have your profile, if you don't have any connections, then it's not going to do you any good. Okay, it's like you have, a website, but you have no traffic. You need the connections. And people always ask me, Rick, is it about quality? Is it about quantity? What do you need? And I say it's both, and it's not either or. Mm-hmm. So what you want is you want a quantity, meaning a minimum of 500 connections. Mm-hmm. What happens is, once you reach 500 connections or more, you'll be surprised how many more people will want to connect with you on LinkedIn.
And why is that?
Exponential. What's that?
And why would that be?
I can only speculate here, but I know for a fact that there are some people on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's connections are limited. As of now, you can get up to 30,000 connections on your account. That's the latest I've heard. You say, Rick, who's going to get? There are a few people who actually have 30,000 or they're close to 30,000 that I know that are incredibly well connected on LinkedIn, and they obviously will not connect with anybody who has fewer than 500 because they show that they don't grasp the concept and they don't think that LinkedIn they're not that serious about that.
That's
one reason. The other one is, I don't know if there's something within the search engine, et cetera, that does that. All I know is every one of my clients who I've recommended that, who's done that, reports to me, Rick, it's amazing. As soon as I got to 500, I started getting so many more invitations to connect.
Yeah.
So you want to have the numbers. The numbers also give you something that it's called networking map, and it gives you possibilities to get introduced to the people that you want to meet, and also facilitate introductions for the people in your network for who they want to meet. Mm-hmm. So obviously, the more people that you have, the possibilities increase. So you want to do that. However, if all you have is numbers and you don't have any connections or relationships to the numbers that you have, it's useless. It might be good for your ego, but it's not going to do you that much good, which means you need to have a certain percentage, a certain amount of strong relationships with your connections. And that's kind of like what you want to be doing. You want to be building those relationships. You and I started as a stranger. I don't know how you and I got connected initially, but it certainly wasn't. We didn't meet face-to-face. We didn't do that. Here we are. We've developed a relationship now to the point where it is a relatively strong relationship professionally, even though we've never met face-to-face.
True.
So that's what you want to be doing. You want to move people from being total strangers to eventually be strong connections. That's the depth. Okay. And the diversity is one where people make the mistake of only focusing on either who their target audience is. Let's say if my target audience is mortgage brokers, I only want to be connected with mortgage brokers. That's a mistake. Diversity is very important in a network. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a gene pool. The more diverse, the more powerful it becomes. So you want to connect with people in multiple roles, different regions, industries, because you never know who they know. And the odds increase that somebody that it is outside of your industry may know somebody else that people in your industry wouldn't have access to them.
And like you said, your target market has cousins and spouses, and you're going to probably connect with people that are a spouse of your target market, and you've won the spouse over, you've won the cousin over, the child, the father or the mother, and now they say, you have to meet with my son or daughter, I'm setting up coffee, done. And you just got the ultimate intro, right?
Exactly. Plus, you're going to be using your network to help the other people in your network, and when you have diversity, you're in a better position to help people outside of your own area of expertise.
I like that, and you're going to jump into the helping soon. I love that. Well, this is great. Let's move into tip number 3. Talk to us about activities.
Yeah, that's something else that people tell me, what should I do on LinkedIn? What should I post? I go, worry first about building your profile and your network. Then let's get to the activity.
I hope you're enjoying this video so far. This has been a preview of the Media Leaders Virtual Conference. where you can learn social media, PR, marketing, and sales. There's 20 plus tactical presentations to build your business. You can learn more about it at MediaLeaders.com or register using the link below this video, right below it. Maybe it's above it, but probably below. Now, this conference, you're probably asking, why should I even register? Well, don't buy a plane ticket, don't reserve a hotel room, or don't even leave the office, because we're bringing 24 of the best social media, PR, marketing, and sales professionals directly to you, and we call it the Media Leaders Virtual Conference. It's a little bit different. You can register at, like I mentioned, at MediaLeaders.com or use the link below this video. It's designed for small and mid-sized businesses that want online techniques and real-world business advice that's tactical. We're going to give you 7 tactical tips in less than 45 minutes from each one of our professionals, over 24 presenters, that you're going to get the chance to dive in deep into their subject matter. They're experts in their field, and they're the hardworking people that we admire and that we want to hire here at Media Leaders. You can watch the presentations on your schedule at any time as long as you want. Also, if you accept our bonus at the end, you get a free copy of my best-selling book, Light, Bright, and Polite. And as if that's not enough, you get a 100% money-back guarantee if you're not 100% satisfied. I hope you'll join us at the Media Leaders Virtual Conference. You can register at MediaLeaders.com or click the link below this video. I look forward to seeing you at the conference. Have a great day.